So, first and foremost, I'm aware that it's 2018, and I'm like 3 weeks behind filming my least liked books of 2017, but it's snowing outside. I don't have work, I don't have school, so I was just like, I'm gonna finally sit down and film this tutorial. It's not a tutorial because I'm not actually putting on makeup this video. So I read a ton of books last year. I think when I did the count, it was like 87 books, and some of them I loved, some of them I didn't love, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 6 that I'm still not sure why they were ever, I don't want to say published, but I just didn't care for them. So let's start at the beginning. So, the widely popular Girl on the Train. Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. Everywhere you went when this book first came out, it was like the best thing since sliced bread. And so I was like, I'm going to get it. I'll read it. I'll try it. And I read it, and my fiance did the audible version of it because I wanted to, read a book with him. No. First and foremost, I don't like the way the book is written. So it's basically like, it's from 3 points of views, mainly Rachel, the main character, and then 2 other people, Rachel, Megan, and Anna. So it's written in basically, morning, night. And literally, for the majority of the book, I know it says the girl on a train, but she's on a train. I don't get what people saw in this book. To me, it was just, there was nothing captivating about it. Like, I just was like, really? Really? And I understand the main character, Rachel, has a serious alcohol problem in it. And I get that that's a real thing, and that's a struggle for a lot of people. But I would have rather she had given me a book just about all her alcoholism, and I think that would have been more interesting than this boring book. And I even watched the movie when I was done with it. And I don't know who thought the movie was a good idea, or Emily Blunt thought it was a great idea. I'm done. No. Next book, In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. I read this with my daughter, and my daughter loved it. She enjoyed it. I did not. It's an instant New York Times bestseller. Okay, and it says, Prepare to be Scared, Really Scared by Reese Witherspoon. There was no part in this book where I was remotely scared. Bored? Yes. Scared? No. Again, we have a female lead protagonist. Yes. And look, I'm trying to remember the story. I read so early last year. They go to a bachelorette party, so the main character's best friend is engaged to her ex. So her and the best friend are no longer friends. She goes to the bachelorette party that's in a wood. Look, I can't even explain to you guys. It was horrible. There's a scene where she's running at night in a dark, dark wood because she needs to release stress. And I'm like, first and foremost, who runs at night in a dark, dark wood unless you're being chased? Third book. First Stephen King book I have ever tried to read. Now, I wanted to see the movie, and I'm the type of girl, if I'm gonna watch a movie, I like to read the book first if the movie's based on a book. So I said, I'll give it a try. I know people rave about Stephen King, and I also know that people feel that Stephen King work, you either love him or you hate him, and there's no in between. And after reading this book, I hate him. There's no in between. His writing style to me isn't a bad writing style. I just can follow it. The characters that are in this book, I was like, is the bird talking? Is the bird talking to the gunslinger? Is the gunslinger talking to the bird? Is this a gnome? Is that a troll? I don't know. No, I probably will never pick up another Stephen King book ever again. And honestly, the movie didn't do that great either, so I didn't feel too bad about it. Next book I got. Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. I don't know why I decided to get this book. I think because the story takes place in Pittsburgh, where I lived for a period of my life. So I connected with it that way because I was like, oh, I know where they're talking about. I know where that's at. Other than that, I don't get why this book was so hyped. And they even turned it into a motion picture. And I watched the movie after it was done, and I was just like, what? Okay, so the movie's basically, or the story, excuse me, is about me, Earl, and the dying girl. And literally, there's a boy, Earl, and a girl who's dying. That's the gist of the movie. Earl and me, I can't remember his name, don't like the dying girl, but for some reason they get stuck with the dying girl. And the whole time he's basically talking crap about this girl, but then becomes her best friend and is there on her dying bed, like the day she dies. Spoiler alert, she does die in the end. But I was just like, what? And it's not even, a lot of times if a story doesn't like intrigue you, at least the writing can intrigue you, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't care for the characters, but I care for how he wrote them and how he developed them. No, I don't. Okay, so the next book, this one summer, I read this for a class I had to take. We were talking about young adult novels and how they affect, society. And this was one of the graphic novels we read. First and foremost, beautiful graphic novel. This book is by, they're cousins. Julian Tamaki and Mariko Tamaki. I'm probably saying their name wrong and I'm sorry. First and foremost, we should take into consideration that this is probably the only graphic novel I've seen that's not done in either black or white or pops of color. Gorgeous, gorgeous work. I mean, it's very beautiful. I probably won't be able to get to it real quick. There's a page where they're jumping in water and it's just stunning. Like, that's really, really pretty. But there's no plot to this. It's about these two girls and they go to a cabin during the summer. And it deals with situations like body image, and it talks about, miscarriages, sexuality. So it does touch on those subjects, but it does it in such a broken up way that you can't actually follow the storyline. Outside of the beauty of the book itself, there's no plot to it. And I understand it got award this big, the Michael Pritzker Award for Excellence in Young Adult Literature. And don't get me wrong, like I said, they touched some serious topics, but I felt like they did it at a disadvantage. Like they didn't tie it together. It was very broken up. Get it. I mean, you may love it if you love a graphic novel. It's like I said, it's beautiful, but other than that, it didn't do it for me. Last but not least, now I know this book came out many, many moons ago. I'm not a bandwagon girl. I don't read books just because they're on a bandwagon. At some point, if it's popular, I'll pick it up and read it. So I said, well, let me give it a try. So I started reading the Twilight Saga. Now, I'm going to do the best books of 2017. And I think when I review all the books I read, I think the first Twilight will be on there. And then here this is on the worst. When I got the book, when I finished reading the first Twilight, I immediately got this one. I was like, okay, I want to see what happens next. And it's like Stephenie Meyer went from here to here with this book. First and foremost, can we talk about how Bella whined the entire book? And I'm not talking whine like, oh my God, I'm having a bad day. Like, somebody put the girl in a white room, whine. It's just, I know the love of your life left you. I get it. That's heartbreaking. But girl, come on. For what, 3 months straight you sat in a chair and looked out the window? Anyways, to me it was just, what is this, like 800 pages? 600 pages of pure just woe is me. I can do 100 pages of woe is me. I can even do 150 if it's written well. Not 600 pages. And then here you are basically being like this mean person aboard Jacob. You're just using him. And basically she knows she's just using him. And then there's Jacob. I'm okay with you using me because I know one day you'll fall in love with me. Now I know how it ends. I've seen all the movies. I'm right now trying to finish up the last book. So I know how it ends. And I get it. And I don't know if that actually helps or hurts this book. But I don't know. Again, Stephenie Meyer did a great job writing the story. But the story is just wah, 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 wah. So anyways, that's my wrap up from last year. Again, these are my opinions. You may love all these books. You may think that the Twilight Saga is the greatest thing written since Moby Dick. Who knows? Again, it's just my opinion. Thank you for sticking around for the whole thing. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them below. Peace.